Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you're doing really well. I'm Kevin. I'm one of the trainers up in Eau Claire, and today we're going to talk a lot about things to do at home in order to maintain your muscle mass. So I've had a lot of focus meetings with my ladies up here in Eau Claire, and a lot of them have been concerned about the nutrition piece. You know, they have the snacking piece, and they're wondering about what they can do specifically to just maintain what they've built. I know a lot of ladies are concerned about, you know, they were at the gym for a while and now we're in this situation for the long haul, and we're going to have to figure out how we can still make progress, whether it's fitness, whether it's losing weight, or, you know, crushing those fitness or nutrition goals. But we have to figure out how we can maintain our muscle while we're at home. So today I thought I would jump on and I wanted to give you my top 5 tips. All right, my top 5 tips that you can implement right now in your at-home workouts, in your at-home life, that will help you to maintain and potentially even build some of that muscle mass as well. All right, so the first tip that we're going to talk about right here is eat protein. So protein, you've heard us say this so many different times in so many different ways, but the reason for that is because it truly is that important. All right, you have to be eating protein in order to build muscle. That is that building block that your muscles, that your body needs in order to build itself up. So if you're not getting enough protein, you're not supplying it with enough materials to build anything, so it's not going to build. All right. It has to be given the stimulus, but it also has to be given the materials to build that muscle. So protein is super important. When you are picking and choosing protein sources, big things that you want to consider are the amino acids that are in there, especially when we're talking about supplements. So real food, so whole food is going to be fantastic. Any sort of meats and any sort of high protein veggies, anything like that you can throw in there, nuts, legumes, things like that with protein, some dairy products as well. Those are all going to contain a whole bunch of different amino acids, so they have a strong amino acid profile, especially the meats and the animal products. But if you're vegetarian, there are some other options as well. But those are going to contain solid amino acid profiles, which means they have a diverse range of all of those amino acids, or better known as those building blocks of protein. All right. When you are looking at supplements, so you need to be concerned about, you know, whether it's a protein powder like Afterburn. Those are Afterburn for sure has a wide range of amino acids in it, but the big 3 that you're going to be looking for are those BCAAs, the branched chain amino acids, and those are valine, leucine, and isoleucine. All right, those are those 3 amino acids, specifically leucine, but when they're all 3 packaged together, they have an increased effect. And what those 3 specifically do is increase the stimulus that your body gets to build muscle. So even by simply ingesting those 3 specific amino acids, your body will say, hey, we need to build up some more protein because we have the materials here. We need to build up the muscle. So be looking in your protein sources. I know for sure Afterburn has those. That's why we're always telling Afterburn is such a simple and easy way to get that protein in. But make sure you're looking for the high quality protein, and you definitely need it, especially after you are crushing all of these at-home workouts. All right, it is a great complement to all the work that you're putting in and all the effort that you're doing. So you wouldn't want to work too hard and then not have that work achieve its highest level of success because you didn't give it what your body needs. So make sure that you're doing these workouts, but you're also eating enough protein to supplement and supply your body with anything that it needs. All right, tip number 2 right here is consistent workouts. All right, consistent workouts. You need to be consistently working out. All right, signing on to those Zoom workouts, signing on to the Devin Morgan workout, whatever it is you're doing at home, do it. and keep doing it. All right, the more consistently that you can move your body, the more your body is given that opportunity to adapt to a new environment, to build new muscle, the better. All right. Also, with that, if you can figure out a way to safely conjure up some heavier weights for yourself, all right? Maybe you rented in our rental program. Maybe you have some, bigger bottles of, I don't know, laundry detergent at home that you've been lifting. Whatever is working for you, try to get something a little heavier as well. That is only going to help you in this process, but it is going to help you continue to build muscle and especially maintain it during this strange quarantine time that we have here now. So, like I said before, your body will adapt to the environment you give it. So the more you are working out, to an extent, hear me on that one, but the more you are working out, the more active that your body remains, the more that your body will adapt to becoming active. So the saying I like to use all the time is a body in motion stays in motion and a body at rest stays at rest, right? Law of physics right there. So your body wants to, as you continue to work out, as you continue to get stronger, your body will adapt to that stimulus, all right? And that stimulus is going to help you build that muscle. So the more you're working out, and it's not just about working out here. So this is kind of my side point right here. It's not just about hitting those workouts specifically, but it's about after that workout, you keep moving throughout the day, okay? It's not good enough, especially when we're at home using limited equipment. It's not good enough to just be sitting there or do your 45-minute burn workout and then be sitting on the couch for the rest of the day, okay? Sometimes, you gotta work and you gotta do the things you gotta do, but maybe in the evening you go out for a walk a little bit more, all right? But I know some of my ladies have said, yeah, I go out and chop down trees. Fantastic, all right? That's awesome. You're using your body, you're staying moving, staying active, and that is only going to help your body adapt to that future stimulus, all right? It's going to help you to see those results and maintain any of that muscle. So number 2 is be consistent. But I kind of gave you that 2B, which was stay active throughout the day. All right, so do your workouts, be as consistent as you can with those. But then 2B is to stay active throughout the day, walking your dogs, playing with your kids, whatever that might be. Continue to move your body, and that will help you maintain a lot of that muscle mass. Number 3, getting close to failure. Now, ideally, when someone tells you to get close to failure or to fail, it's not the greatest thing. But in working out, yes, it is, all right? Especially when you're doing these at-home workouts with limited weights, all right? So when you are working out, when you are crushing that 45-minute Zoom workout, that Devin and Morgan workout, those kickboxing, whatever it might be, you want to get as close as you can to failure. So what that means is you're doing as many reps as you possibly can to stimulate those muscles, whatever you're doing, your chest, your shoulders, your legs, your glutes, anything like that, but you want to stimulate those muscles as much as possible before you take that break. What that really feels like is most likely a burning sensation. Your muscle is going to get very tired. Your brain is going to tell you, you need to relax right now because it's tired. Push through that, okay? Push through that, get a couple extra reps, see how long you can go, see how far you can go, as many reps as you can before you take that break. That is what it means to get close to failure, and you need to do that multiple times, all right? When you're lifting heavier weights, you don't have to lift as many times. You can have a lower number of repetitions because your muscle has to do more work right off the bat, all right? It might not feel like you're getting closer to failure that way, but in reality, you actually are, especially when you're lifting heavier weights. But when you don't have those heavier weights, you need to be lifting as many times as you can, so higher repetitions. So, for example, push-ups. If you were push-ups compared to a dumbbell chest press on a TerraCore or something like that. Maybe you grab a heavy set of dumbbells and you're doing those and you can maybe only do 8 to 10 reps. But push-ups, we got to go for that 18, 20, 25 in a row before you quit. So that is that getting close to failure. And the reason for that is you have to challenge those muscles to continue to force them to grow, right? Like we said before, they're going to adapt to whatever environment that you give it. All right. So if you're giving it an easy environment, it doesn't have to adapt to much, if at all. So, but if you're challenging it day in and day out through those consistent workouts from tip number 2, you are going to see results. You are going to maintain muscle mass, and you're going to give those muscles a good enough stimulus to continue to grow. So make sure that you are working close to failure, which means work hard. Okay, during those 45 minutes, keep crushing it. Do it go for as long as you can, and really focus on those muscles that you're using. You know, if you're doing a push-up, really focus on squeezing that core and pressing that push-up out using those chest muscles and those shoulders. All right, so really focus on what you're doing and get close to failure. Tip number 4 is to eat enough calories. All right, now you might be thinking, Kevin, this is very easy for me to do. I'm locked up at home, I'm snacking all day. How is that a tip, right? So the biggest challenge obviously with this one is think about what you are eating, right? A calorie is a calorie, but different foods are going to have better nutritional value that your body can actually use than others. Specifically speaking, whole foods. As trainers, we're always going to tell you that whole foods are better, right? Things like vegetables, fruits, meats that are have very little processing to them. Those are all going to be better for you. They have a higher nutrient value. There's a lot more vitamins and minerals inside each one of those compared to anything processed. So, you know, a bunch of, I don't know, a sugary cereal or something like that. Those are going to be more highly processed, and they're going to have a lower nutrient value. So I would just really challenge you right now during this time to think about A, what you're buying at the store, B, kind of go along with that, is what you have on hand, and then what that leads you to put in your body. So when you go to the store, buy whole foods, all right? Steer away from those processed foods, because those are not going to be as good for your body. Your body's not going to be able to use nearly as much of, there's not as much in there for your body to use compared to anything like a whole food, like a fruit, vegetable, any sort of unprocessed meat as well. So I would challenge you right now, think about what you're putting in your body. But in order to maintain your muscle mass and potentially build it, you have to have a high amount of calories in. All right, you have to be eating a higher amount of calories. If you're eating too low at this point, your body will not be in that mode of building muscle. That won't be its highest priority. It's going to start to preserve a little bit more. So your body, you need to be within that certain range of calories, and if you need to figure that out, you should definitely have a focus meeting with your trainer. They can help you figure out how many calories you should be eating, how much protein from tip number 1 you should be eating, as well as the carbs, the carb amount and the fat amount that you should be taking in as well. So all of those things are super helpful to know right now, but the biggest thing is that you have to be eating enough. All right, especially in that protein field, but you have to have enough calories in order for your body to build up that muscle. When you combine enough calories, a higher amount of calories with higher amounts of protein and a good and consistent and challenging to failure exercise routine and just a higher activity level overall, you're going to see an increase in muscle mass, and at least a maintenance phase right here until we can all get back to the gym and do a little more specific work when it comes to building muscle and seeing results. So make sure, bottom line on this tip, to eat enough calories. Talk with your trainer. All right, talk with your trainer, tell them your goals, tell them what you're trying to go for, at least what you're trying to save, what your concerns are. We're here to help, we're here to listen to you, and we want to give you the best advice that we possibly can in order to help you achieve those goals. So number 4, once again, eat enough calories. And tip number 5, last but not least, especially not least, we don't talk about this tip very often, but that is get enough sleep. And the reason why this is one of my biggest tips and one of my top 5 tips is because sleep is when your muscle is truly built. All right, during your sleep, your body will go into that recovery mode. It will secrete more more building hormones, more anabolic hormones, and then it will lower those catabolic hormones, or those breaking down ones. So an example of an anabolic hormone would be testosterone, which, ladies, yes, you do have, but you have much lower amounts than guys do. But your body will still elevate that level. And what that testosterone does is it helps you build muscle, all right? That testosterone floating around will tell your body, hey, we need to build some things up. That's what anabolic means, building up. So that will increase, which will result in quicker recovery. You might feel a lot better after a good night's sleep after a hard workout. That is why. And then number 2, you're going to end up with a higher muscle mass as a result, if you combine it with all of the previous other tips as well. So number 2, sleep also decreases your catabolic hormones as well. So a hormone like cortisol, which is the stress hormone, that will decrease while you are sleeping. Cortisol increases when you are stressed. So kind of a 5B right here is to decrease the amount of stress that you're going through right now, right? Which means, I know it's a stressful time, but do the things that you need to do, that you love to do, that help you to lower your stress, because lower stress levels, lower levels of cortisol overall are going to help you maintain that muscle mass, help you achieve those goals right now, and maintain where you're at, so you can get back to the gym and you can continue to crush it when we do get to that point. So sleep is super, super important. Try to get at least 7 hours a night. I know some of all of you might say, that's crazy, I can't do that. Well, see if you could that is my challenge to you. See if you can fit an hour in during the day, even in a nap. That would benefit your body so much right now, especially during this stressful time. That is a natural and easier way to just simply lower that stress level, that cortisol level right off the bat. So get enough sleep. All right, that is tip number 5. So those were my top 5 tips. All right, really quick. Number 1 is eat protein. All right, eat enough protein. Number 2 is have consistent workouts. Right, so you need to be consistently giving it that tough stimulus. And to be kind of in there was to stay active throughout the day, right? So you're going for walks, you're playing with your kids, taking your dog out, whatever that looks like for you, but consistent workouts and staying active. Number 3 is during those workouts, you need to get close to failure. Okay, so you need to make those workouts tough. It has to be challenging to your muscles so that they are forced to adapt and you're forced to continue to build or maintain that muscle mass. Number 4, you have to be eating enough calories, all right? You have to eat enough calories and really talk with your trainer, set up a focus meeting so that you can figure out how many calories should I be eating, how much protein, how many carbs, how much fat, okay? All of those things are super important, especially when it comes to maintaining muscle. And then number 5, get enough sleep. Get enough sleep. And on that same note, 5B is try to lower those stress levels as much as you can, right? Do the things for you, rest, relax, okay, feel good, and try to lower those stress levels, because that will really combat those catabolic or those breaking down hormones so that you can maintain that muscle the best that you can. So I hope these tips and this video really helped you, ladies. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. I'm on Facebook. But thanks so much for tuning in today, and I hope you have a great day. See ya.